It is Supernanny Saturday, and this week we are going way back to season 2 with the Minyon family. So let's grab our beverages and dive in.
I had no idea that having kids could be so much different. Don't you hit me! They're not quite as easy as I thought it'd be. Skylar's very difficult. She's got some rage issues. Skylar! She just goes ballistic. Stop it!
My word.
Is it just me, or do you also hear added sound effects? I feel like this is more prevalent in the earlier seasons of Supernanny, in addition to the lovely quality that we had of video at the time. I hear it. I hear every time she hits mom, there's an added slap. Tell me you hear that too.
Sad to say I don't spend enough time with my son.
Frank doesn't like to wake up in the morning, and when I do get him up, I have to physically dress him while he's in the bed. Frank, how come you never help me get yourself dressed in the morning?
Because I'm tired.
He's 7 years old. This is way beyond a joke here.
It certainly feels like a joke, Joe Frost, the way he's laying there. I'm so tired. But let's be honest, these are challenges that actual parents deal with. Waking kids up in the morning, having them fight with each other, having them hit you. And that is why here on Mommy Breakdown, we use Supernanny as a jumping off point to discuss discipline techniques. And if you're new here, I'm Kristen. I'm an educator and mom of 2 myself. I specialize in working with children who have behavioral challenges.
You awake yet? The cops are gonna come and get mommy if you're not at school. Come on.
No!
Skylar, please.
No!
And that's when the fireworks went off.
Start in the morning.
I want to get out!
Sky.
I'm not getting dressed.
Each day of school, it's getting worse and worse. It just went from no shoes yesterday to not getting dressed.
Let's talk cranky kids in the morning. My first question is this a reoccurring problem? Because there will be times when our kids just wake up on the wrong side of the bed, so to speak, and it doesn't call for a solution. But in this case, it not only appears to be a reoccurring problem, it is progressing in a negative direction. So that is a huge indicator that the primary caregiver is not only not helping the situation, but they are making it worse. So everything that that person is doing needs to be like crossed out. Like, what do I do in the morning? Don't do that because I'm making it worse. And that will happen. Now, if you take those things off the table, then what do you do instead? Because if you don't have any demands of your children and you aren't responsive to them, then that's just neglectful parenting. You obviously have to get them to school on time. So let's watch a little bit more, and then I want to talk about what to do instead.
I'm gonna have to have Daddy help me dress you.
Will you pick something out
I
there?
don't want to wear it. I don't want to wear it.
But Skylar dug in her heels. I mean, she was having none of it.
I have to leave. I really have to go. Me having to leave for work in the middle of the chaotic portions of the morning is not a comforting feeling walking out the front door.
So how do we solve this problem? Start with your long-term goal and work backwards. I'm sure you and I have the same long-term goal. We want our kids to be able to get dressed, feed themselves, get a job one day, and be able to provide for themselves, you know, maybe serve the community and live an overall just happy life. Seems like a great goal. But the problem is that we will not achieve that when they are 2, when they are 5, when they are 10, when they are 15. And there's an immense amount of pressure for parents, especially today, and I'll get to that and explain, to have these things happen immediately. And it takes time to develop. If you go into pretty much any elementary school in my area, at least, and I'm in Florida in the US, you will find reward systems. Kids will get stickers or stamps, or they'll move up colors or down to other colors. There's lots of extrinsic, we call it, rewards and consequences. They're things that are imposed on our children to modify their behavior. And if you go onto online forums and such, people will complain and they'll go, oh, bribing and rewards and consequences, they're all bad for kids because we want our kids to do things because we want them to want it. Okay, I get it. That's a great long-term goal. I love that goal. I want my kid to listen to things when they're an adult, not because they're scared to go to jail, but because they want to have a community that's safe, right? That seems great. But that's not something that a 4-year-old or a 7-year-old, I think the boy is capable of doing yet.
What does this do to you when you hear Skylar screaming and shouting?
Kills me. It just hurts that I can't fix the problem.
I don't want to go. Let's go.
I hate seeing her cry like that over nothing. It's easier to give her way because then she'll be fine.
Mum's emotionally drained from all of it.
Let's Google some ways to encourage our kids to get up in the morning. First website, 12 effective ways. I really liked this website because it even gave some sleep guidelines. If your child isn't getting enough sleep at night, then of course they're going to be tired in the morning. Then when we scroll down to these 12 ways, I'm just going to jump through because some of them are obvious. Play music. Cook something that smells delicious. The 5 senses can be a great cue to get us to do something. Think of yourself, maybe you're a coffee drinker, and when you smell that coffee in the morning, it's like, oop, you didn't even sip it yet, but just smelling it is like, oh, I'm awake, the day is beginning, or the coffee maker sound. This one was cute. If your kid does love pets in the house, maybe in the morning you open up the door and the dog can go in. You're then going to table those ideas. Sit down with your child during a time of non-conflict. So that means when you're not fighting in the morning, and you're going to bring up the problem. You're going to go, I've noticed lately that the mornings have been rough. It must be so frustrating in the morning when you're all cozy in bed for me to turn on the lights and then you gotta get dressed and it's just so warm in bed and I love staying in bed. Isn't it like the worst thing to have to get out when you're so cozy? Now, why are we starting the conversation like this? It's because behavior modification is much more effective when it is self-imposed rather than imposed by the parent. So we want them to be a part of the solution. And then open the floor for ideas as if you didn't already research all this stuff. And you go, I wonder what we could do. And don't say no to their ideas. Just write them down because we don't want them against us. We want them with us. And then look at their ideas and try to find one, at least, that you can kind of maneuver into a plan that also worked for you. And then you do the plan so that when it doesn't go well, you go, you talk about it again at a time of non-conflict. You go, you told me that you would get out of bed if you listen to music during breakfast and that's not working. Is the music not working? Do we need to change the plan? And if your child, this is important, and I know I'm going on and on forever. I'm sorry. I just feel like I have so much to say. If your child starts to get sassy, stop it. Do not fall into permissive parenting. So if your child starts to get sassy and they go, okay, excuse me. I don't have to ask you what your opinion is with these things. I'm trying to work with you. And if this is the way that you are going to talk to me while I'm trying to work with you, then this conversation is going to be over. So would you like to be a part of the process of thinking about what happens in the morning, or would you prefer me to decide for you? Usually that's enough for the child to come around and go, okay, I can't be rude and I want to be a part of the process.
Later on in the afternoon, Mum and Dad had organised a barbecue and their friends and family came round.
Can I get a hug?
You say hello, Sky?
Skylar refused to say hello to anybody.
Skylar, come say hello to Sharon, please.
Frank, did you say hi too?
Frank didn't bother to have any manners. And
You don't need to be playing video games, Frank.
When we have a family member or a friend walk in the door, I feel it's just common courtesy to have everyone greet who's coming in.
Dad, if that is important to you, then it is your job to teach the children. I don't know why some parents believe they come out knowing these things. If your child, it's important to you for your children to greet people as they come in, then number one, have you taught them that? Have you reinforced that? And then do you have either consequences or rewards to that behavior that you want?
but they do have really high standards and expectations of their children. They expect them to hug and kiss on demand.
Give him a big hug. Aww.
I feel competent. about the issues that the Minyon family need to address, and I can't wait to get started.
How do you feel about forced affection? When people are coming and going where you are, do you make your children give hugs or kisses? For me, I am somewhere in the middle. When my children were younger and, you know, when they're like kind of melty at the end of a play date or an event, I would not force them to say goodbye. I actually wouldn't even bring it up at all if I knew that they were going to be cranky about saying goodbye, because I didn't want to reinforce the crankiness. But as they got older, we practiced it, and I gave them the option of, do you want to give a fist bump? Do you want to give a high five, or do you want to just wave? Do you want to give a hug? They would have to. The expectation would be you need to say hello and goodbye, but in a way that you feel comfortable with. And that's what I imposed in my home. What do you do?
Let's talk about the social skills with Skylar and Frank. You expect your children to be intimate with people when they don't want to be.
I would like to just see a hello, handshake, hi, acknowledgement.
But you don't set the examples in your own home. Frank, he doesn't do it with his own father. How can you expect him to develop his social skills when he doesn't even do it with you?
Love a good mic drop moment from Joe Frost. Yes, we have to lead. It's not about controlling our kids. It's about leading by example. Are you showing them how you give a proper greeting, how you give a handshake? Do you go find your child when you get home and give them a greeting and go, I would love it if you greeted me at the door? Let's try that. It's so nice. I love to come home to you, and I love to see you, and I want to hear all about your day. Let's do that. I'm going to walk back outside, and then I'm going to walk back in, and you give me the kind of greeting that you choose to give me. Like, where's the modeling? Go mic drop moment.
Pre-wake up Frank. A pre-wake up call is to gently break your child into the morning before the alarm goes off. Dad, between 4:30 and 5 p.m, I would love you to sit down with Frank and do his homework.
Sure.
Okay? Lots of encouragement and support. Look what I've got here. What is it? I introduced the reward chart because it's a fun way to make the children reach their goals and earn their rewards.
It's teaching day. We have our schedule. Something that was mentioned that I liked was the pre-wake up. And then the reward system is introduced. I don't know exactly how it works. 5, 10, 15, 20, however it works. We've seen rewards with flowers. We've seen rewards with token. We've seen rewards with all kinds of things on Supernanny. But rewards come back time and time again because they're effective. And there's something to jumpstart the behavior in the correct direction, and then as they get older, you start fading those out and it becomes intrinsic rewards. But when they're younger and you're trying to modify that behavior, like, don't be scared of a really cool reward system, because then they build the habits, they build the routine.
It gave me a lot of strength to have Joe there. I break down easily with all the crying and chaos and running, and I just feel like it's never gonna work. When I'm done cooking dinner,
Don't say it!
I told you go play with Daddy.
Go.
Excuse me, I just had a handful of goldfish. It was like a drive-by goldfish run because my child had leftover goldfish. Are you even a parent if you don't eat their leftovers? Anyway, time out. There's a lot going on here, but one thing that I absolutely love from her technique in particular is that it is very robotic. It is like a broken record. You get up, I put you back. You get up, I put you back. Why is this so effective? It's because it teaches the child that their behavior doesn't modify your behavior. If they do something like spit or yell or say mean things or whatever, and then you change what you're doing, then they have learned that what they do changes what you do, so they're going to continue to change what they do and amp it up. They have to learn that no matter what they do, it's still going to be the same thing. So they'll stop trying it because they know that they can't modify what you're doing based on what they do. Does that make sense?
You can help, Mommy. You need to say you're sorry first for how you acted earlier. Once you apologize, you can help me.
I'm not sitting down.
Skylar would not apologise, and it just dragged on.
You need to say to Mommy. What do you need to say to Mommy?
I want to get out of this.
You can come out of timeout when you apologize. What do you need to say to me?
Sorry.
Thank you.
The second thing that I'm like, still don't really like it, I'm still struggling with it, is the forced apology part. What is the point? I don't get the point of making your child say they're sorry. If they don't feel sorry, saying the words doesn't mean anything. I mean, imagine if we did that for adults after they serve time in jail. They serve their time, they're ready to get out, they're about to walk their step out, and we go, but wait, are you sorry? And they go, no, I'm not sorry. All right, that's it, 10 more years for you. Like, it's ridiculous.
In the morning, the parents need to pre-wake up their children, and that is to open up the door ajar and to put a soft lamp on. Once the children have woke up, it's then for them to take the responsibility in making sure that they get themselves dressed, washed, and ready to leave.
Well, you dressed yourself today.
Go, Frank. There was lots of noticing when he came out. Wow, you got yourself dressed all on your own. There's pride there. There's excitement there. Let's see how the little one does.
So the alarm clock went off, but Skylar didn't budge at all.
Skylar, come on, honey, we have to go to school. No. I want you to put on the clothes that you chose last night. Come and give Mommy a call at the door when you got yourself dressed so I can see, okay?
Lo and behold, for the first time, Skylar actually got dressed by herself.
2 4 2, 2 4 2. She did it. And you might look at that and go, oh, but she was still whiny and she pulled her covers off and she hit herself with the pillow. And those are not great things. You and I know those are not great things. But just like that long-term goal and breaking it down into parts, right now, just getting her to get dressed on her own was an accomplishment. Kids don't learn how to read by, reading big words. They learn how to read because they learn each letter and they learn the sounds. It's the same thing when it comes to behavioral skills. Take your kid for where they are right now and what could we work on, and then keep moving a little bit more each time.
This next step in the socialization process is to identify personal space. So Frank, let's have you in the middle of that orange circle there. It is important that Frank and Danielle do not put pressure on their children to be affectionate towards their friends and family on demand. Now imagine that you're Skylar and she's this tall, and then she meets an adult and that person comes straight into her space. It's quite intimidating, isn't it?
Was Jo Frost ever a teacher? Because the way that she uses visualizations, it's just beautiful. Sometimes we don't get it until we see it. So having those circles and showing the parents how uncomfortable that must be is, wow, bravo.
I introduced the feelings chart because Frank is often never heard by his parents. So I really want to be able to give him a chance to express himself. If you feel good about something, then I want you to use the happy faces, okay? Mm-hmm. If you feel bad about something or you feel sad, what I want you to do is use the sad faces.
I'm feeling happy today.
You feel happy today?
I'm gonna get to spend more time with my dad.
Yeah, you are.
She is on a roll. I think this is my favorite episode ever. Now we have faces, we have feeling faces.
Come here.
Walk to the door, Sky.
Come on.
You want to say goodbye because JoJo's going now?
Bye.
I think the greatest gift Jo has given me is just an understanding of each of my children. She's just got knowledge that most parents don't have.
Getting to know your child is going to make the biggest difference in navigating how to discipline and parent them as they get older. Let's see where the Minyon family is now. This aired in 2005. We have the episode summary, the parent meeting, the teaching begins. It's all written down here, which is nice if you want to read it out. Family update. I guess there was an update episode. I didn't watch it, so let's just read it. Frank feels that things have turned around. Danielle reports that mornings are a huge change. Frank Patrick says that his parents are better because his sister is happier and nicer. Frank's eyes have been opened and he now knows better what his son needs. Danielle says everyone is doing their part to make things work. So it sounds like a very good update, but as you know, those updates are shortly after the episode airs, so we'll see. Post episode, here we go. This is the good stuff. This is the meat. Skylar started a vlog. Danielle gave birth to another daughter named Alexis. Danielle and Frank got divorced, with part of the reason being the mistreatment that Frank Patrick received. I wonder how they find out this information. Danielle remarried to a man named Carrie, and her full name is Danielle Darden now. She also gave birth to another daughter named Kayla. Wow, so she's a mother of 4. Skylar's now a mother. Skylar gave birth to a daughter named Ollie on April 16th of last year. Some little trivia, pop culture, there's the pictures. Let's see if we have any links to see what they look like. So this is Skylar's YouTube channel. Okay, Skylar. Let's see what you got. You're in your 20s now. I don't know when you started it. There she is. So she has her pictures of when she was younger at the top. It looks like this is a more updated photo of what she looks like now. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. And let's go to videos and see. We'll go to popular. Okay, so it looks like she was, just vlogging things about her life, senior year, some ear piercings, stuff. So if you want to check that out, that is Skylar's YouTube channel. And let's see her Instagram. See if we have maybe some family photos in there of all of them together. It might be private. We'll have to see what we have to offer. Okay. We have some pictures that, oh, what a cutie patootie. A mother herself. It looks like she breastfed because last bag of milk. So she breastfed 14 months, 12 days was the picture. So if you want to see more of Skylar and her family, it looks like we have lots of public photos that you can go through and check out. I don't see any photos of her family. So let's see Frank Sr.'s Instagram. We know that mom and dad got divorced based on the wiki. The account is private, so we don't have any other photo except for an updated photo that is just the main photo. And Frank Jr. is the son. Let's see if we have anything for him. Also private and just rocking his hat, looking all cool. My goodness, the years just fly. If you're interested in listening to more from an educator's point of view or a mom's point of view, or you just love Supernanny and you want to hear more, check out the playlist that I have with all of the Supernanny videos that we have watched together. And if not, I'll see you next week. Bye.